This week's episode is brought to you by the Wetaskiwin Arts and Music Festival Committee, Delcon Visual Arts, and Warren's Music. If you'd like to contact us, you can reach us on our Facebook page at Wetaskiwin WonkCast. Look up WonkCast. You can email us at wetwonkcast@gmail.com. And you can also find us on our website at delconvisualarts.com/wonkcast. We're also on Twitter. Look us up for Wet WonkCast, and Instagram, the same handle. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Wetaskiwin WonkCast. We're here today with Susan Kokas. Some of you may have remembered her from, I think it was episode 3, when she was here before. So I'd like to say welcome, Susan.
Thank you. Good to be here again.
Awesome. Great to have you. Maybe just as a refresher, you can just give everybody a quick how do you do and let them know who you are, and we'll start from there.
Hello, everyone. I would like to just take a moment to, first of all, just kind of send some regards to the families of the Mascoutchees and Wetaskiwin residents that had a tragedy in Millet, and they were part of our community. So I just want to do, not a shout out, but I want to just put out there sending prayers to all of them.
Prayers and an honorable mention. Also, maybe you'd like to bring up the Treaty 6 land use.
Absolutely. We are on Treaty 6 land, and we want to always be honored and respectful for being on their land. And by the Lake Park, well, the entire part of Alberta and Saskatchewan is Treaty 6 land. So we always want to be respectful and honored, and we're doing that, which we will get to shortly, as far as the opening ceremonies for the Wetaskiwin Arts and Music Festival 2.0 on June 23rd, 2018.
Awesome. Sounds like you're pretty enthused about this, as we all are. Again, the Arts and Music Festival is a not-for-profit society. Maybe you'd like to let everybody know the dates and times that this event's going to be happening. Okay,
thank you. Again, it is the Wetaskiwin Arts and Music Festival is at By the Lake Park in Wetaskiwin. There is a full address, but it's kind of like
pretty easy to Google.
It is. Thank you. I was going to say look it up. So we are starting at 9:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. on Saturday, June 23rd, 2018. We have a variety of events and musicians and artists as usual, and we can probably get a little more detailed about the actual schedule, because I do have it in front of me, and I'm quite excited about it, and I'd like to cover a few of the musicians, the returning musicians, the new musicians, returning artists, and new artists, so we can get to that shortly. But that's the time and the day, and we're very excited. It's a rain or shine event, so come on out.
That's awesome. There's also going to be a shuttle service, I believe, from the mall and from, where's the other location?
From the drill hall.
The drill hall.
Yes.
Right,
so I'm just going to actually start this with a shout out now to the City Transit and Kevin Lucas, part of Recreation Department in Wetaskiwin. Last year we had a shuttle and it was successful, but we thought this year, because parking isn't really that great out at By the Lake Park for big events. Believe me, the parking is great. It's just not good for larger events.
Yeah, for sure.
So, we did a little extra work this year, and we got the city again. Thank you, City of Wetaskiwin, to run us from 9 a.m. starting at the Wetaskiwin Mall, because last year we just did the drill hall. So it's Wetaskiwin Mall, the park, the drill hall, back to Wetaskiwin Mall, the park, every 15 minutes. Starting at 9 a.m.
And that's one bus, right?
That is one. Right. Well, they might have two. I'm not sure. We'll get more, but it is, so I'm assuming one bus. For now, it's one bus. So there will be a continuous circuit going from those 3 locations, and they will be dropping off literally at the park and then moving around. So if you just want to park at the mall, which we will have a secure area, there just for us. Thank you, Wetaskiwin Mall, for that. And so it just makes it easier. It makes it a lot easier for those who are not artists or musicians and want to do drop-offs and stuff to just grab your lunch here, jump on a bus, do a circuit, and you can leave within 15 minutes of the time that you want to. So again, shout out. Thank you for everybody for that.
Yeah, that's perfect. You were mentioning the parking at the drill hall and the mall. Is there any other parking available for like senior centers or anything like that?
Yes, absolutely. I want to also say a big thank you out to Sam Musa of the Musa Corporation here in Wetaskiwin. They're always there for the community, and they are allowing us the parking lot that is not directly across, but across from the park, on the south side of that road. It is a at your own risk parking, but it is accessible. So that's an alternative, and it's big. It's a big spot, but weather permitting, if it's muddy or if it rains prior, then it's always at your own risk. So just saying, there is some extra parking there. And McLean's Meats, yay out to them, because we want to bring seniors out, because this isn't just about youth, it's about seniors as well. So we want them to be engaged in the community. So we are offering any of the senior homes that have buses that want to engage that day and bring the seniors from the homes, that the seniors' buses are allowed to, and thank you, McLean's Meats again, repeat, for allowing the buses to park in the parking lot at McLean's. They can drop off at the park, and then the bus can park at McLean's and then move from there. So I want to just say thank you to Musa. I want to say thank you to McLean's, and again, thank you for the city for providing parking. It's so, because we want it to be all accessible, and they're helping and providing us with that. So thank you.
Great, and that's a perfect segue into my next question. Sponsors. The city is Wetaskiwin is obviously a sponsor. Who else do you have lined up for our banner, I guess you're going to say?
Yes, I love that. I know. It's like, I don't know, the word banner in itself is kind of cool. It's so we have really been very generously acknowledged this year, obviously with a little bit of hard work, but some of it was not hard work. It was just people believed in us. And so we have sponsors, and we're doing something a little bit different this year. We're doing levels of sponsorship: the platinum, the gold, the silver, and those who donate in kind, because Busy Bee, who gives us toilet paper for the porta potties, is priceless. I'm sure we all know that, right? It's priceless. So it isn't about giving money. It's like monetary. It's about what is being provided to us that makes our guests and our musicians and our artists comfortable. So I can name a few sponsors right now. We have,
by all means, please do.
Okay, we have, and you know what? I'll actually start from the bottom up, because sometimes people start from the top down, because it is people like Busy Bee that give us toilet paper and hand sanitizers. And this isn't all of the sponsors, but it's just a few that I can say. So Busy Bee, Wood Art Manufacturing Incorporated, that gentleman is just awesome that works there. He's actually become a friend of mine. He does a lot of the he does all the sandwich boards for us. And so we can paint them and we can put them up around town. And his daughter-in-law, as a matter of fact, is one of the artists. So through that connection, through that relationship with him, we've now got some more artists there. So other sponsors, we have the Walmart. Yay! Walmart of Wetaskiwin.
Again, right? Perfect.
Again, yeah. Yes. They've made another $1 donation for us. So we also have Magna Mechanical. We just cannot say enough, again, a thank you for them. Again, some of the little guys, Revelations Renovations out of Millet. We have Vlad and Catherine Brecka, who are so instrumental in this community. They were teachers, and he was the vice principal of the high school. So, and they believe in the art. She is an artist in herself. So, ATB Financial, Allison Electra is not just an artist, but she works there, and she's provided that for us. And Frank at Manluck. Yay, Frank at Manluck. He has provided us not just with a donation, but he's also provided us with the generators for the bands this year, because we want to keep it quiet, but we want it to be loud and clear. So thank you for that. There's a few more. I will think of them throughout the interview. And so there's some that have gone over and above. And the city of Wetaskiwin we're putting them up in platinum because they haven't given us cash, but what they have given us and everything else is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And we want to say a huge thank you out to them as well.
Yeah, the city of Wetaskiwin's certainly done a lot. Not only that, but allowing us to have the event at the park itself.
Yes, yes.
Which they are also promoting. They're letting everybody know that if there's property within the city, if you have an event, go see them. Contact them, City of Wetaskiwin. So big shout out to them, all your sponsors. What else do we have on the agenda today? What's next on your list? How about...
I'd like to talk a little bit about maybe the artists, and then...
Sure.
Okay. If you're ready for that, I'm ready for that, because that's all I'm about. Hey, money's great, but we want to talk. I'd like to discuss about the food and the artists, and the music, of course, because it is an arts and music festival.
That it is, and without them, this would be happening.
Absolutely. So maybe if it's okay with you, what I'd like to do is maybe to start out with the stage setup and the artists that will be on the stage, the musicians, which are artists, by the way. So we have posted, not only on the page, but there will be at the Wetaskiwin Times, there will be a full page ad where you can see the full stage production, or the full schedule of music.
And not only there, but it's also on your Facebook, or the Facebook page as well. It's
yes.
Posted, right?
Yes, absolutely. Right. So, if it's needed to be found, just find us and we'll find you. So I would like to kind of start out to say that we have really very proud this year to say that we have 2 professional sound production stages, and one of them is a repeat from last year, and that would be the Jaded Avenue production stage, which is ran by Albert Murray, who is one of the 3 members that was formed in 1998 of Mostly Monster. And they played last year. They played last year on their own stage. But this year they're going to be our headliners. And we are not only thrilled, but we're kind of honored because they are they're a group that met when they were young, and they started a band, and then they all got busy with their lives, and then they reformed, and they changed to a dynamic form of music. They're a mix of alternative rock, hard rock, and punk. And they've just released a demo since reforming, and much more music in the works. So he's saying you can catch their music on SoundCloud, and their links are on Facebook page. And Jaded Avenue Productions themselves will be running the first stage, I don't want to say the smaller stage, because technically it's not, because they're all wonderful stages, but he also is starting a studio. So you can follow their Facebook page and find out a little bit more about that. And it's universal, because he spends a lot of time in Australia, and they're partnering with a company in Australia. So we're very proud, for starters, to have Jaded Avenue Productions back again. And on that stage is going to be our opening ceremonies. Starting at 9:30 a.m. And we have a smudging with Elder Roy Lewis, who we had last year, and I'm honored again. That's Respecting Treaty 6. And then we have fabulous Bridget Fanda Cardinal, who's going to be singing O Canada in Cree on that stage. And then we have a young woman Colby Brown from the high school. I think she just graduated this year from Wetaskiwin High School, and she's going to be singing in bilingual English and French, O Canada. And then we have a bagpiper that, to me, that is just across the lake. It's something that's so beautiful. And we're also looking to possibly get a drummer, and he's a DJ out at Hawk Radio. But we're in discussions right now about the timing on that. So that's our Jaded Avenue production stage, and I guess I can continue a little bit with the musicians on that stage. So with that stage, that's going to be closer to the lake. That's going to be on the facing east, and it's going to be on the north side of the lake, facing east towards the city. We're starting out quietly. Our first music starts on that stage at 11:15, and every artist gets a half an hour, and that is not including setup. So they literally get a full half an hour.
Right. There's a 15-minute between.
Yes, so they can get themselves set up. And with having some professional production sound and stages, then, they're going to sound better.
Yeah, the transition should be quick anyway.
Thank you. Being a musician, you understand that, and I respect that. So then in the morning on the Avenue production stage, we're going to have something that's going to be a little bit quieter, soft rock, some country, some of the usual suspects. Bill Tozier's going to be there. Then getting a little bit later into the afternoon on the Jaded Avenue production stage, we are going to have Sarah Lee. Now at 2:30 to 3 o'clock. Now Sarah Lee is a young First Nations from Ermineskin, and she has been singing since she was 15 years old. This is her first visit with us, and so she is the editor for the Ermineskin newsletter as of about 4 weeks ago. Yay to her. And she's about to graduate with a Bachelor of Arts in English. So we're very pleased to not just have a young woman who is an artist, but she's also moving forward, and she's diverse. She's
another up and comer.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. It's good to see.
We have our regular M&M. I love those ladies. They're always great. Always great. Thank you, M&M. And then I wanted to do a note for 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. with the Kokains. The Kokains are a 3-member rock band out of Masquatchee. And I have been in contact with them quite often, and I wanted just to share a quick story with them because they shared that with me. The name of the band came from the loss of their friend Kane Potts. So they put the band together, and it's a rock band, and so we're very excited to hear about them because there's a lot of history and some good stories behind them. They're also on SoundCloud, which I checked out. And then Laurie Kennedy at the end of the day on the Avenue production stage. He's a regular, and I'm honored to always have him out there because he again is he's big on making our community a good place to be. And
definitely. We actually had him as a guest on one of our shows, and he's one of the acts you don't want to miss. Bring your kids. They'll have a great time.
Yes, and he's actually the closing act for that stage. And just a quick note, the reason why we're closing down that stage at 5:30 is because we want to bring, and we'll get to that in a minute, we want to bring everybody from that stage over to the Prairie Fire event stage for the latter part of the evening so that they can really get going, they can start. That's when you can sit and really get into the music for the rest of the evening. And also what I think is cool, just me personally, is that, as I said, the Jaded Avenue production stage is ran by Albert Murray and his band, Mostly Monster. So Mostly Monster is going to be our headliner on the Prairie Fire stage, which is the larger and the main stage at the end of the evening. So I'm seeing some connection there, which I think is kind of cool because they're working together, but they're working separately. So that's kind of cool. That's what art is.
Well, that's what this is all about, working together. And just to clarify the name Kokains, it's actually Kokaines, not what some of you might be thinking.
Yes, thank you.
So let's
because we all did, and that's why I thought, well, I better clarify that too. So yes.
Let's carry on with the next stage, which is also running during the morning and afternoon as well. It's the Prairie Fire event stage, so I'll let you carry on with that, Susan.
Okay, thank you very much again. So the Prairie Fire event stage is actually going to be, this year, we're not doing anything on the balcony. So we're going to be putting that, what we're calling the back 40, which is actually kind of along the roadway, across from just to the south of the playground. There's a larger area there, and there's a big parking lot, which is also going to be utilized, but that's going to be where the new stage is going to be. And the city's going to manicure everything for us, so it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fabulous. So it'll be closer, and you won't have to look up. So it's about putting your lawn chair out, and it'll be close enough to all of the picnic tables and some of the other artists and the kids events or the kids playground. So we think that is a really great place. It's going to be a covered stage this year. And Prairie Fire Events is a production company, again, local. They're out of Millet. And they are... I just connected with them. Tyson Travnik was their tech, and he came out and talked. He heard about us, and we connected with them, with him a few times. And so we just decided this year that we're just gonna let the professionals. Red Canoe last year and Riley Moore, we shout out huge, grateful thank you for last year. But this year, then we can just have other people provide all of the work, so even the bands can enjoy themselves and don't have to worry about, setting up and taking down. But we are looking at starting on that stage at 11 a.m. and we're starting with Russ the Country Music Man, and we're going to stay quiet in the morning on kind of both of the stages for obvious reasons, and then we're going to go from country into folk, and our own Justin Littlechild country comedy is going to be on at 2 p.m. Jasmine Wenham, who is folk, she's so awesome, and Mackenzie Fisher-Bach. Jasmine is
returning artist or musician.
Absolutely, yes, which is so cool. I mean, it's so cool to have them come back. So the schedule will say, but Jasmine's at 12:30, Mackenzie is at 1:15, Justin's at 2, and then at 2:45 we have something kind of cool this year, different, is Jenny Komsa, who is a piano teacher, and she contacted me and asked me if I would allow a piano recital, and I said okay, and I was a little questioning that, and then I talked to her in person, and not only are her students, who are really professional pianists, are going to be doing their recital on the stage. This is for half an hour, but Jenny herself is going to be bringing her piano and doing something, and that to me is awesome, because we didn't get our trio of string this year because they were all separated doing their own thing. So this to me is kind of like a highlight for the day. We have, again, another First Nations band. We have Don going MIA. Don Burbridge, another local. Love him. Always love him. Thank you. Robert James is going to do some rock. And then we have Rob Rabbit, who's a newcomer this year. And he wanted to come last year, but he had some other things. But I want to share a little secret that he gave me permission. It's not.
You're hearing it first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I had to ask permission because I wanted to say it so bad. We have Robin Pelche, who is with Gord Bamford's band, is coming out with Rob Rabbit to play, and Rob and Robin will be playing from 5:45 to 6:15 together on the stage. So we're quite excited about that. And here's another little thing.
Mark that down, put it in your iPhone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or bring your iPhone. So Robin Pelche and Rob Rabbit, I should say Rob Rabbit and Robin Pelche, because Rob's our star, of course. Robin leaves literally that afternoon for Ontario to play with Gord Bamford. So I'm proud. I'm very proud to have Rob rabbit there this
That's
year.
great. He would take the time out and in his busy schedule to do that too.
For sure. And it just accentuates what our local artists are interested in as well. And Sounds of Neglect is another at 6:30 to 7, and they're metal punk, and they're also from Masquachese. So, and Heavy Feather, rock hard. I say that because it says hard rock. But I love those guys. Trent Young is just, he's my man. He is my man.
Yeah, and I've been talking to him on Facebook as well, and we're hoping to have him as a guest here on the podcast as well.
And he should be. And so I love Heavy Feather. So they're going to be the opening act for the headliner. So they're from 7:15 to 7:45.
Another returning act from last year.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. And they're hot. They're great. I love these guys. I love everybody, but it's just cool for me to see like such different genres throughout the day, and that's why a little bit later in the day we're going to crank it up. We're going to do it a little louder, and Tyson from Prairie Fire Events had said that somebody asked, "Is there going to be mics on the amps?" I think was the word, and you're the musician, so you do more than that. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but okay. So in the end of that day on the Prairie Fire event stage will be Mostly Monster, who is our headliner, and that's the band of three. And they are metal, rock, and as I had mentioned before, they're kind of diverse as well. So we're putting them up on stage from 8 p.m. to 9:15 p.m., and that's going to be the end of the day. And also Albert Murray, who is from the Jaded Avenue Productions, is flying out back to Australia the next day. So
another turn and burn.
Yeah. I like that term. I best write that down. They're going to turn and burn. I thought maybe burn and turn. I don't know, but I love it. So I just want to give a shout out to or a big thank you, as I probably said 10 times, to all the musicians and to the stage and sound production folks who are helping us this year to take the pressure off and turn the sound up.
And we're all looking forward to that for sure. It's going to be a good time. So again, everybody, the hours for this event are 9:30 in the morning till 9:30 at night. Be there or be square. What else can we talk about now, Susan? We're going to talk about briefly ongoing fundraising for this event. What have we done so far, and what do you foresee happening?
Well, with our sponsors already, that we've already garnered quite a bit of money from them. Wetaskiwin Arts and Music Festival Committee has done a variety of things. We did some last year, we did some again this year, and we did one for starters. Not just sending out emails and asking for donations from friends and family, which has actually worked, and I love that, because my motto kind of in life and is if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So
right.
Yeah,
that's one of my mottos for sure.
Yeah, so I asked, and I got pretty much everything I asked for, and that's a good thing. We did a fundraiser at Giant Tiger last weekend, which was awesome. Dale, you come out.
Yeah, that was a hot dog sale.
Yeah.
It went really well, actually.
It did go really well, and we had a lot of fun.
And good weather for it, too.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, and we also raised a little bit of money, and that goes to all of these extra little things that are needed. And, just to put it in perspective to you, the hall needs to be paid for. We do need the porta potties, even though we get some donations for the toilet paper. We still need to pay for the porta potties to make it accessible. We need wheelchair ones, and hand washing stations. And we need to get t-shirts, security t-shirts for the new venture we're working on. We have to have that. Those things do cost a little bit of money. I think I already mentioned the hall. To pay for some of the small things, those little fundraising things and those little donations is what really keeps us flush. We're not rich, but we have done so much on such a little budget. So, anytime anybody wants to make a donation, you can contact us, bring it in to Dale here at Delcon Visuals. We can give you a receipt. We're not for profit. We are not a charity. We can still give you a receipt, and you can figure out how in your tax that you can write that off. So anybody, anything, we're open for that.
Right. I was just going to reiterate again that it is a not-for-profit society. Any and all donations, whether it be in kind or cash or check or however you want to do that, is always accepted and greatly appreciated.
And you will be not notified. You will be on the banner. You will be acknowledged. That's the word. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for.
For sure.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'd also like to bring up the committee and board members. A big shout out to all of them. And in particular, there's a guy that's put on a lot of miles on his hush puppies, Dan Seipel. He's just being a rock. He's walked a lot. He's knocked on a lot of doors, and so I just want to say a big thank you to Dan for sure. Not to overshadow or overcast or whatever any of the other members, but him in particular.
100% agree. Thank you, Dan.
Sign-ups. If you want to pre-register before the event, which is on, again, June 23rd, you can come here to Delcon Visual Arts, sign up, and you can pay your registration fee of $10. If you need a table, it's $10 per table. If you have your own table, bring it. You're not going to get charged the $10. After that, you will be able to sign up until 11 a.m., correct?
Correct.
Correct. The day of the event, and after that, I'm sorry, but there's always next year.
And it's cash only.
And it's cash only at that point, yeah. Which is also here as well at Delcon, cash only. So now you mentioned radio stations. Is there going to be any in attendance at the event, or talks or conversations with anybody?
We're in talks and conversations with ATPN, which is the First Nations, the Indigenous news station. We're on their webpage, which we're very excited about. So they're promoting us. We'll be on all CFCW and her sister stations. We have a press release. It's going to be on the community calendar. Hawk Radio, of course. I'm going to be doing an interview with them on the 18th, Monday the 18th. The Times, Pipestone, media. Also, we are on the Travel Alberta website. And
yes, can't forget that. That's huge.
We're very, very pleased about that because we are working towards being an art destination. And if that's the focus, that's if somebody comes to Wetaskiwin. And the really cool thing about the Wetaskiwin, or with the Travel Alberta website, is that it not only directs you to the Wetaskiwin Arts and Music Festival, but it directs you to other events and locations in Wetaskiwin. So if you're going to come in for the day, or if you're coming from, whatever, Calgary or Drumheller, Drayton Valley or something, and it's a long day for you, there's also hotel spots, there's restaurant spots. So we're looking to, I guess it's just kind of natural the way that things work. But so the Travel Alberta website is not just about Wetaskiwin Arts and Music Festival, but it is also putting the rest of Wetaskiwin on the map. So we're hoping that the festival will entice people to come, and then when they're here, then they're going to go to those restaurants and the hotels.
Yeah, most definitely, because actually that weekend there's a lot going on. It's and it's summer. I mean, there's something going on next weekend. Then there's the 23rd at the By Lake Park. Every weekend, pretty much after that, there's here this weekend. There's the car show at Reynolds. There's the Ag Center.
Oh, they had the little rodeo. Yeah.
So there's a lot going on for a little town.
And all those things would hopefully be on the Travel Alberta site too. So it's like, you know what, you can come and spend a week in Wetaskiwin, or come and see how cool we are and what fun there is to do, and then entice you back, or go to a campground nearby and stay for a couple weeks for the summer, and then have all these different activities that you can do on a weekend if you want to.
Yeah, and be smart about it. Book in advance. Make sure there's a room if you don't have your own trailer or whatever, or even the campgrounds you might want to book there as well. So
yeah.
Anything else? Is there any surprises in store that you're willing to share? Or
can I throw out just kind of a couple names of some artists and some cool stuff? Yeah, we did the musicians, so I figured
the artists
get So this year is is a little different. We're actually having a few more artists and a few different genres coming out because there is an area just outside of Leduc that has closed down, and it's where a lot of the artists used to go for the summer. So they contacted us. We did not contact them. Some of the artists in Leduc, and they're like, well, can we come? I'm like, well, yeah. So part of the committee, Dale and you were part of that we voted to say that we want to keep it local. But if there is some unique genres and different people, and if we want to be an art destination, then we should open up to some of our smaller communities. So we've opened up to Leduc and to Thorsby and Ponoka and Camrose, Pigeon Lake. So we've kind of opened it up. And with that, first of all, I'd like to go through just a couple of the local people, and then I can throw it out. One of our big supporters and one of our usuals is the Wetaskiwin Arts and Crafts Center here in Wetaskiwin, and they are the potters. The potters that represent the Wetaskiwin are coming out this year to have you as a fundraiser to have artists participate. And that is so cool. So what they're doing is that they are doing a process called Raku. And just to make a long story short, is that you purchase, this is a fundraiser, so a guest can purchase a pre-made piece of pottery, you decorate it, and then they put it in a kiln for you, they burn it, then they cool it, and you can take it home with you. So this is art in action. You can actually see how pottery is glazed and made, and you get to take it home.
Yeah, how cool is that?
How cool is that?
I mean, that's great for the kids.
Yes.
Right?
It's actually kind of cool for everybody because it also kind of promotes the fact that, I know I was with all the kids too, but then I realized that it promotes the fact that there's a lot of adults who, if you're retired and you want to try something different, or you're just,
very
bored.
valid point.
Yeah, exactly. And we also have Lorraine Hawley, who has... she's one of our members, and
And Lorraine, if you're listening, where's my hat?
Oh, your ACCO hat. But so she does glass, tiles, stained glass, and she does guitars. And she's on our webpage, Wetaskiwin Arts and Music Festival Facebook page. So join if you want to see that. And she's awesome. I want to also give a huge to Patricia Broach. She is a gamer. And she's English, and she's a gamer, and she makes art that depicts the game genres. And she does what's called flow art and fluid art. And she plays a lot of Warcraft. So she does wine glasses, and I'm like, I'm all over that. I want all those wine glasses.
Well, yeah, that's wine, right?
Because I'm not a gamer, so I don't understand some of this genre, but what she's been posting, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. So it's like, showing your art that brings other people interested in something that, where is the art inspired from? And the biggest is that Patricia Broach did our poster this year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
She did
very
it.
Good job, by the way, Patricia.
Thank you, Patricia. She did it for free, and I think she just banged it out right away. I don't think I said no to anything because it was just stunning. It's colorful, and it's, so I just want to say a huge thank you to her. We all do. The entire committee and all of the Festival Association wants to say thank you because that was just huge for us. And one other quick one is Amelia Brenz, and this is about the uniqueness of the art. Amelia Brenz is a locally raised lady, and she's a personal favorite of mine because not just is she a new mom, but that inspires art too.
By the way.
Yes, thank you. She utilizes her Reiki Level 2 attunement to create her jewelry, and it's exquisite. And she also does macro photography, mostly nature, and it is stunning in its details.
Which is definitely a talent in itself. Yeah.
And
it's not just a point.
Yes. Earhart Creations is her Facebook page, and she also has photography. But if you go onto the Arts and Music Festival page, you'll see all of that. We also have Alta Posidek, and she's also local. And she's another local lady and a mom. And she has an odd eye for color surrounding animals. I love her work. She does colors on canvas. It's affordable. And she's already sold 2 pieces because of her posts on the Wetaskiwin Arts and Music Festival page, where we encourage artists to post and link. That's what it's about, right? And just an FYI is I bought a cat painting of my cat. Oh, no, I bought a cat painting for my cat.
For your cat.
Yes, from her. So she has a great array of paintings, and she'll be there as well. So we have Alicia Fries doing watercolors. Peter Cameron from the Rogue Sparrow Gallery is coming out again this year. He's actually displaying this year, not coming out as necessarily a photographer. Emily Danielson, who is come on back again. Also, I believe she has her art in yours?
She does. She's got several pieces in here, actually, and she's, I think, probably our best seller in the gallery. So, way to go, Emmy.
Whoa, way to go, Emmy. We also have a cartoonist, and I apologize for not knowing his name, but he's actually famous, and he lives in Edmonton, and he does a lot of Star Wars. So anybody who's a gamer, the Warcraft, the cartoonist, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe he's coming. I'm like, I gotta go check this guy out, because I don't know who he is. And that's the fun part, too. And we have Indigenous artists, back to the inclusive and the diversity. One of my favorites as far as her work is Paula Megan Johnson. And she does medicinal urns to heal, but she makes them in necklaces. So they're filled with medicinal herbs and native herbs and plants, and they're very delicate and very powerful, and she has them in glass urns that you wear around your neck for your healing. So it's customized to you if you want to do a custom. So, and she's awesome, and she's a lovely young lady. So, and we have more Indigenous artists coming out. I don't have all their names right now because there are a lot. So I just wanted to kind of put that shout out to them specifically. And there's probably going to be about 60 more, but we can't fit them all in right now.
That's a great turnout. And not only musicians and artists, we've also got photographers and other different types of art for you to see.
And to take home and to buy.
Yes,
because
everything is for sale. Most things are for sale.
Yeah.
On top of that, if you're hungry or you're thirsty, we have some food vendors coming. Who are they, Susan?
Yes, you cannot have a party without food.
That's right.
Yeah. This is a family festival, so this, again, is and never will be alcohol allowed. So this is a drug and alcohol-free event. And there will be security there, both the RCMP, the bylaw, and I'm going to get to the food, but I just want to put that out there because
the committee will have its own security walking around as well. So
correct, and so we just want you to know that this is a safe event and it's a clean event. Again, so food. Duh, I am kind of frothing at the mouth right now because we have.
It's true, I can see
it. It is, yes, I know. So you get that off. So our food, because you can't really have an event without food. And there's no concession this year at By the Lake Park. So, which is sad in a sense because there won't be ice cream.
Yes, everybody loves ice cream.
Yes, I know. And, we're just like, okay, where's the ice cream truck guy? Because, we want to take half of your sales that day, but we're working on something. So we want to do a shout out right away to Domino's because they always support Wetaskiwin, and that's Renato. And he also just opened his new restaurant there behind No Frills.
Oh, right. It's so new. I can't even remember its name.
Yeah, it's so new. I can't remember.
I've heard a lot of good things.
I've heard a lot of good things, too.
Get your butt down there.
Yeah, so, maybe he'll, bring out a few free samples of the new menu.
Free and food. Oh.
Yeah, I know. Okay. And Italian. Oh, my God. So Domino's is coming out. He's doing his pizza thing. And then we have new this year, very exciting for me at least, is Kokam's Bannock Kitchen. And this is Leslie Williams, who is actually was Leslie Bull before she married. And she's originally from the Louisville tribe, but she now lives in Calgary. And she has got a menu to die for because we don't have the donut guy this year, but she makes cinnamon and sugar infused bannock. I'm like, okay.
Well,
bannock burgers, bannock. Yeah,
right?
I know. Lots of. So her menu is actually posted on there. So shout out, eat up. That's all. We got popcorn this year. We got kettle corn, which is kind of cool. I love that. I love that. Beans is coming out again to do coffee and light snacks, and they're going to do iced coffee. So if it's going to be a hot day, there's going to be a little bit of iced coffee there or something cool for us. And the Filipino barbecue, as usual, they came out last year.
I sampled that last year. That was really good.
I sampled that last year,
I'm
too.
going to sample everything. I'm going to waddle out of that place.
I know. Well, yeah, we'll get wheelchairs. Gonna put wheels on my lawn chair. So because there is no concession this year, so it's like this is going to be your food vendors, and we're excited about it. And Horizons Hurricanes also do a fundraiser, so they sell water, and they're usually along the pathway. And
oh yeah, you want to keep dehydrated for sure, because if it's anything like last year, it was pretty warm.
It was pretty warm. And also with all of this, we are talking with the city again as usual, making sure that everybody's going to be happy and healthy, and we're going to keep the park clean. So Horizons Hurricanes is going to be collecting all of the recycle, because we're going to have recycle bins. We're going to have extra garbage bins. The Horizons Hurricanes will be collecting all of the recycles that we find, so that's part of their fundraiser, not just from selling the water. So we're always pleased about that. We don't take any of that. This is what this is about, so we let them take 100% of their own profits.
And as a housekeeping, all we ask is that, if you've got garbage, use the containers. Simple as that.
Yes.
Don't throw your stuff on the ground. It's a park. We want to keep it clean, family friendly.
Yep. And we only have a couple, 3-4 volunteers, even though everybody that's there is, in a sense, their own volunteer, because, they want to keep their own space clean. So, yeah. Just please, just be respectful. That's all I have to say.
Just do your part.
Yeah. And I want to, before we might close up here, if you don't have too many more questions, I want to talk about a little bit of the performing arts. We have Taekwondo back this year, Wetaskiwin Taekwondo. They were such a hit. So they're taking up the usual space again this year, and they're going to be doing their displays, and also it's their year-end barbecue. So we're always pretty impressed with that. So secondly, the other only performance artist that we have again this year is Refresh Wellness, and they're coming out in the morning, and then they're going to do another in the afternoon. But they haven't given us their times yet, so we're going to let them promote themselves on our page. We're not going to put them in our advertising, but Refresh Wellness and
that's yoga, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're going to do.
I'm sure it's probably a little bit more than that.
Yeah, I know. But they're going to do a little bit more of the yoga classes. But the balcony this year, we kind of offered it to a couple of different organizations to see if they wanted to do dance or theater or something up there. And we never actually kind of heard back. There was nothing that was solidified. So unfortunately, the theater and the dance this year might not be as maybe prominent as it was last year, but it's on the menu and it's on the venue to bring that into our festival.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And the quilters, are they back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't forget Carolyn and the ladies, right?
Well, there's, I do have a little kind of a side note that you can edit or not. But Caroline, our awesome secretary treasurer, this year has had a death in the family as well. So she will not be here this year. She will be away for the festival, as will Janice Lockhart who will also be away. She's part of one of our members. She's not a board member, but she's a member. I have a little bit of news. I don't know if it's going to be said or not, or if you want to edit it or not. But I also have made the decision that it's kind of time for me to move on to some other things, and I'm not sure how long I'm going to be around Wetaskiwin because I have moved to the county. That I will also be resigning as the president of the Wetaskiwin Arts and Music Festival Society.
Yes, I was actually going to ask you because the rumor has been around, and I was just going to get you to see if you confirm or not. That's too bad because this was your brainchild. But I'm sure you have full confidence in whoever comes up next will carry on with your blessing and have the same amount of vigor and desire to have this done as you do right now.
Yes, thank you. It's called social media, and I can be 1,000 miles away and still be dictating what should be done. That's not a joke.
No, it's not. Trust me, folks.
No, it's not. I know. But it will continue. This festival will continue because I believe that the team that we have, and one other person I want to say a huge thank you to is Kathy Cowell at the Wetaskiwin Times. That woman has just been working with us every bit of the way. And Stu Stalker out at the Pipestone has let me also put my word in the paper and our word in the paper. So
see, it's still yours.
Well, actually, I wrote the article. It is still mine. It's going to be hard to let that baby go. So,
yeah,
but
sure.
I'm not gone. I'm not dead. I'm not gone.
And we have the gentleman at the city that's making the banners.
Oh, Kevin Lucas.
Mr.
Kevin Lucas. No, I will never forget about him. He's done everything. He's kind of the rec department president now, and he's taken over transit, and he's taken over a lot of things. And he might spread himself thin sometimes. As we all do, as so do I with so many committees. But when the focus comes on something that we're passionate about, he's on it. He's completely on it. So thank you.
He's definitely been
and we do have whether or not anybody wants to join us, but council. We are going to council at 4:00 on Monday. We're not requesting anything from them other than because they've already provided us with so much, and they're one of our platinum sponsors. So we just want to say if anybody out there wants to come to council and just sit there for an hour or two and watch how we approach it, and just to come out and see a little bit about the city and how it operates.
Come out and see and show your support.
Yeah, You're very welcome to do that, and we will be presenting. And so showing your support in there as a delegation would be wonderful. So Monday, the 11th at 4:00, City Hall. Be there.
Exactly.
Good. Yes.
All right. So I'm pretty much out of questions, and I'm pretty sure we covered everything, if not most of it, at least.
I think we did too.
So, is there any final shout outs to anyone or businesses or anything like that, or are we pretty much?
Well, I guess just sitting here and across the table from you and looking at you, I'd like to say thank you to you for the WonkCast for starters, and we'd like to see it really get spread out and start to promote it a little bit more because this is really cool. This is really cool, and this is to me where media is now. This is where communication is now. It's in podcasts, and something like this. Maybe supposedly in a small town, is what keeps people connected. Because if they're not on Facebook necessarily, they can still click into a podcast and hear what's going on because that's the thing. That's the thing now. Yeah, it's really podcasts. And you download it and listen to it later. So I just want to say thank you to you and Justin for the WonkCast, but I also want to say thank you for you promoting the artists in this town. And the out of towns. That's what it's all about, and that's where you and I met, and I think that's where you and I will stay.
Exactly why we're here, because we're here. We are running a business, but we are here to promote artists, and being a musician, I do as much as I can to help out local musicians too. This podcast is not only heard locally, we've got visitors from, trust me, all over the world, and they've got relatives that probably live in this country or maybe even this town or close by, and word gets out, and maybe somebody that used to live here lives far away and just wants to keep up with what's happening. So,
and I like that, and that to me, it's like
and it's a great time.
Yes, pop men. Yes.
This week, Justin had a prior engagement and couldn't be here, but as you all know, he's usually the one that does most of the talking, and I got no problem with that. I'll sit here and do all the sound.
I think we did just fine.
I think we did.
We got to the point, and it's all good.
We did. Yep. Next week, we're going to have a round table happening, which is going to be some of the artists and some of the musicians that will be attending the Arts and Music Festival. So I look forward to doing that, and I guess we're done, so I'm just going to say thanks again to Susan Kokas for coming into the studio and doing this interview with me, and it's always a pleasure. And I'd like to say, everybody else, have a great day. This week's episode is brought to you by the Wetaskiwin Arts and Music Festival Committee, Delcon Visual Arts, and Warren's Music.